Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. We are the Real Short Box Live. We are going to be talking today about the Suicide Squad. Squad Talks is what I like to call it. All things about the new Suicide Squad film, how it compares to the last one, which characters we loved, which characters we hated, what we thought overall of the film, and what we, as somebody that hasn't seen it, would believe happened in the film and what actually did. So we're going to be covering all of that. Of course, my name is Donald. It still says Captain Don. That's fine. I'll take it. Off to my right here is Kevin. Just below over there, below Kevin, is Mr. Christopher D. Turner. Thank you for joining us, Chris.
Texas.
And we have a very special guest here of We Can Be Heroes Comic Shop, Julio Galvez. Thanks for joining, Julio.
How's it going? He is the Duke of Newhall. Please address him properly.
My apologies, sir.
The Duke for short, please.
Oh, okay, the Duke. All right. And finally, last but not least, we have Mr. Darren here, who hasn't been with us for a while. Darren, thank you for coming back. And also, I believe you said you have a prepared statement. Am I correct?
Oh.
It is correct.
Oh, my goodness.
My fellow shortboxers, this evening we will be summarizing and editorializing about the latest film, The Suicide Squad. This evening, everyone on this panel will likely be discussing everything they enjoyed, as well as everything they disliked, except for me. Due to not only my uncanny professionalism, infinite virtue, never-ending amount of class, intellectual honesty, impenetrable morals, Judeo-Christian values, indispensable righteousness, and just a genuine love and respect for my audience, I must disclose that I am currently employed by a primary cast member of this film. Due to my desire not to breach any contractual agreement that I am currently employed by, I will not be editorializing this evening. As far as my colleagues, I will not endorse nor condemn any of their opinions they share this evening. For all the reasons previously mentioned, I will not compromise the integrity of myself or my current employer under any circumstance. God bless the earth, God bless America, and God bless the Real Short Box. Thank you.
Well said, sir. We do have to respect the power and the legalities of the NDAs on our show. And also, I really am touched by that speech, Darren. It's kind of a combination of LBJ's speech of when he was not going to accept the renomination of his party for president, and also Nixon's resignation speech years later. Very well done, sir.
Donald?
Wow.
Where's the button that makes the fart sound?
What's really cool, guys? We are live streaming from 4 different states: Ohio, Oregon, Texas, and California.
Wow.
We've never done this before. 4 different states we're live streaming from.
Wow, that's true. Wow, Wow, look at us. We're
4 different states, 3 different time zones.
We don't do many firsts these days, guys.
Would that make us intercontinental or continental or?
That would make us intercontinental Real Short Boxers.
Yeah.
Yes, but if we were serving sticky buns, it would be continental.
Very true. Very true.
Oh man, that Key and Peele episode about the continental breakfast. I love that episode. That skit. That is the best. One of the best. The only other one is the sex crimes psychic detective type dude that they did with Key and Peele. And that one was amazing. That's the ultimate best one, but I feel like the continental breakfast one right.
I don't know. The Shakespeare one's my favorite one. I think that's the best one, but
Which one? I'm sorry?
no, Shakespeare one, the Othello one.
I don't know who that is. Shakes. What?
Yeah, but you'll read it.
Shakespeare, it's the character Kevin Costner played in The Postman.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Darren. Thank you. All right. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, I'm going to pull up the chats. Uh-oh. It's my mom. She says, hi, son, from upstairs.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mother McKinney. How you doing? I hope you're well.
Well, my mom and dad are downstairs. So hello, mom and dad. Thanks for allowing me to be upstairs podcasting right now since I'm visiting from home here.
And the fact that you're using their Wi-Fi right now.
Yes, I know, right? And they're probably their shows are pretty choppy right now, like that. So, let's see. Sammy says hi, Miss McKinney. Also, hi, Donald. I guess. Gee, thanks, Sammy. Appreciate that. Wow. All right. Hey, let's talk about. We're gonna do like throughout the night. We're gonna do a little skit I like to call things from Donald's childhood. So, I'm gonna open this drawer here.
If you pull out tube socks, I'm out of here, bro.
You're out of here to go right to the bathroom, right? Take care of business.
I'm currently sharing this lovely broadcast.
What do we have here? Oh, look, first thing. What's at Donald's old childhood home? A Ronald McDonald wristwatch.
Hey!
Wow.
Now, what year is that from?
1863, I believe.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know you were that old.
Yeah, I've been around a while. I'm like a vampire, dude.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And magic.
Yes. Oh, and one more thing. Actually, I'll show you later. This is too exciting. Oh man, I'll show you later. Don't worry. You'll love it. Trust me. But today we're talking Suicide Squad, everybody. All of you in here right now on our podcast, we are talking Suicide Squad. Let me put that in here.
Suicide Squad 2021 version.
Yes.
Not the 2016 version.
Right. Well, we would be very dated if we did that. Hello, Maria. Thanks for joining.
This is the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, not Suicide Squad, the.
Oh, well, I didn't put the in the thing here, so
Or
it's
you could be really classy and say the.
the. T-H-E-E.
That's right, the.
The Suicide Squad.
Just like the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Shut your mouth.
Originally, it's nothing compared to the Citadel.
That's true. The Citadel, indeed. A lot of that's in South Carolina.
Or it could be the Tadmore Hall, Darren. I don't know if you remember that. But Tadmore Hall is actually the largest Comic-Con I've ever gone to. In fact, hang on one second. I've got something really cool.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I got this when I was at Tadmore Hall. It's one of their Comic-Cons. It's from 1996. It's a Mark Campos and Mike Deodato Jr. World Tour limited edition print, signed by them both.
Oh.
Whoa.
Pretty cool, huh?
Whoa.
Ooh. This is when Wonder Woman had that weird costume, remember?
Yeah.
Like, you see her back there, all weird?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
What a weirdo. She was like, I wear a jacket now. And you're like, okay.
This is cold.
Yeah, she was just cold all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So, we really kind of want to get the idea, the talk of the Suicide Squad. We want to mention just some of the basics. It was written and directed by James Gunn, who also wrote and directed Guardians of the Galaxy and the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for Marvel. Now, he was infamously shamed by Disney and told that he could no longer be a part of their Marvel Cinematic Universe. And DC Comics and DC Universe, Warner Brothers, etc., they went, come to us, we'll take you. And that's exactly what happened. And they said, what would you want to do? And he said, Suicide Squad. That was like his number one thing that he's wanted to do. And they said, well, we just did one, like 2016. But yeah, sure. Just why not? Go ahead. You know, the first one made over $700 million and was considered a failure, by the way. Over $700 million, and it was considered a failure.
When you consider the big budget, you consider the marketing cost, it probably barely broke even.
But it had a $135 million opening weekend, which, that's incredibly high.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. But now we live in an age of 200, 250, $300 million budgeted movies, and not including an extra marketing of $100 and $200 million.
Right.
You got to make a lot of cheese
And
to cover the cost.
real talk on that, but
of it, just Will Smith.
yeah.
Well, if he had a back end deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. They were going in that first one. They were going for huge names, name recognition, name, and that really cost them a lot of cheddar. So,
Serious cheddar.
I think they saved a little bit of money this time. And who was it? It was Idris Elba that obviously the character of Bloodsport was supposed to be Deadshot. I mean, we all know this by now, or should know this by now.
That's true.
That was simply not the case because Idris Elba or the execs or a combination of both did not want to play that part. They didn't want to be a part of that world. So they decided, okay, well, we'll just use the character Bloodsport, and they ended up using that character. And Bloodsport's really cool, I must say. It's a really cool character.
Yep.
But before we get
movie's
started...
even cooler.
Right, before we get started into this, I just want to say I've seen the film. Darren has seen the film. Julio, you've seen the film.
Yep.
Chris, you've seen the film.
Twice.
Twice. I've seen the film twice as well, yeah. Kevin, have you seen the film?
Unfortunately, I have not. But I have seen the 2016 version, though.
Okay. All right, so what I want to know, as someone that hasn't seen the film, what are you expecting from the film? What do you expect to happen in the film?
Well, I expect that the wrestler John Cena, who's playing the Peacemaker, to have a very significant part in the movie.
Okay.
I expect him to do some really great things. I expect him to be used maybe similar to the way that Deadshot's character, Will Smith's character in the first one was used, along with Idris Elba also getting a significant screen time and abilities to show off his action and acting skills.
I actually have a question since we have Julio here, of course, owner of We Can Be Heroes. Are there any significant issues of Suicide Squad off the top of your head right now that you think are really important as far as the circulation of comics go?
I mean, you mean pertaining to the storyline that's happening?
Yes.
No, just maybe character driven. I think pretty much this story is James Gunn really having an original vision on what he thinks a Suicide Squad is. I mean, character wise, I mean, Brave and the Bold 28, the first appearance of Starro. I
love Starro.
Fighting 5, number I think 5, the first Peacemaker. I mean, the characters are there. They're not quite what they were originally in the Suicide Squad. Any other runs, they're very original what he's done. I love the movie. I really do. I'm very happy with it and in every fashion of it. It's very, very good. I don't know if it made any money, but it's definitely good.
It made 26.4 or 26.6 million at the box office, I believe. Or 27.6, I think is what it made. Opening weekend, they were expecting 30 million. They consider it kind of a failure, box office wise, which is a damn shame.
Well, considering the circumstances, it's somewhat understandable,
Yeah. You also want to one of the big ones that I would say, Darren. I would say the Ostrander, John Ostrander's Suicide Squad #1 from DC Comics. I would also go for those that like the niche kind of character market. TDK is actually played by Nathan Fillion. Is actually Arm Fall Off Boy, and Arm Fall Off Boy first appeared in the 80s in Secret Origins #46, which is a actually very, very good issue. In that issue, there's a character that can turn himself into a citadel, like a castle, basically, like a big, small, big castle that people can get inside, and he can protect them. So it's very Dungeons and Dragon-esque, Chris, in that manner of speaking. And in this comic, what happens is there's also another character in there. They're doing like these Legion of Superhero tryouts, and there's another character in there that can touch things and make them forget. So in order to showcase that character's abilities, he walks up to the Legion and he goes, "Watch this," and he touches this kid, and this little kid's like, where am I? Where's my mommy and daddy? What's going on? You know, and like, it's irreversible. So they were like, that's a horrible power. Like, we don't want that. Like, go away. So suddenly these bad guys come and attack the Legion, and the Citadel dude turns into a Citadel, and he's like, get inside of me, and everybody like starts to get inside of him. And that character that makes people forget stumbles and touches the side of the Citadel, which is that dude, and he forgets who he is, and at that point, until eternity, stays as a Citadel. He never turns back into a human. It's the saddest goddamn story ever. But it's the same. It's within that story
tragic.
with Arm Fall Off Boy's first appearance.
That's tragic.
Go figure.
That's tragic.
Yep. Super tragic.
Yeah. Now, so are any of these characters, are they in specific issues that you would say, since we always like to talk prospecting, any specific issues here from some of these characters whose first appearance might be extraordinarily valuable?
I mean,
Hello.
Whoa! What's going on? Whoa! What's going on
What
here?
is going down?
what?
Whoa! What's going on here?
Johnny's here in Portland, Oregon.
Whoa,
Are you gonna come to the hot tub with us?
Now, ladies.
We're waiting for you.
I'm doing the show here. And it's important that I complete the show first. Business must be taken care of, and I think you brothers would agree, right? You know, we must take care of business, right?
Well,
Kevin,
hurry
we'll
up
see
and
you later.
join us. We're waiting for you.
No, brothers. It is important. I am a member of the Short Box, and I must fulfill my duties as a broadcaster.
Don't take too long.
True professional, guys.
Yes, true professional.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be logged off right now.
What's that?
I'd be logged off and in the hot tub right now.
Now, Brother Turner, we must maintain integrity.
Integrity. In
Integrity.
fact, Chris just booked the flight. I'll see you. Yeah. So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about like the opening of the film.
Yeah.
Spoilers to those that have not seen it. I'm sorry, but it's gonna happen.
Kevin, go to the hot tub. We're gonna talk about a movie.
Right. Right. Kevin, Sammy says, "Look at Kevin, what a player, haha." And Maria says, "Kevin, why are you ignoring those nice ladies, hee hee." And my mom thought that was very funny, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so she appreciates your sad humor.
Yes, very sad humor.
Austin Fox says, "Bye, Kevin." So, bye, Kevin. See you later. So, really quickly then, at the opening, how many people were really shocked by what happened? Like, right, almost like within the beginning, like first 15 minutes.
I mean, I was shocked, but at the same time, I wasn't, because I was like, well, it is the Suicide Squad.
Right.
Like, this is, I was like, what the hell? But also, like, there's the title right there. I was
Right.
like, okay, give it to
So
us.
a lot of characters died, and let me just say this, that my one huge disappointment with this film, because I love the film, by the way, but my huge disappointment with this film was that they killed off Captain Boomerang.
Oh yeah.
That crushed my soul just a little bit, because in the
You're a big
comic
fan of that
books,
character.
yes, I'm a huge fan, but also in the comic books, he is such a sneaky, conniving piece of shit that he always finds a way out of death. He always finds a way to cheat death and to try to cheat Waller, and I always found that funny as shit. Like, that his character was always so sneaky, yet so stupid, and so fun. He was just a ridiculous, fun character, and he's gone now. And that's super sad to me. He doesn't go out like a player, like a boss, like we would expect, unfortunately. Not quite the way we would expect it. A few other surprises in there. how many people like out of the opening characters that we get to see? We get to see, I believe. Actually, let me bring up some of the pictures as we mention them. So, Julio, go ahead and mention the first character that we can think of that appeared in the Suicide Squad movie in this new one.
Oh, well, the first to go?
No, the first that we actually see on the screen.
Oh, well, we see, well, there's Javelin, then there's Mickey Rourke, Michael Rooker's character.
Right.
Savant?
Right, Michael Rooker played Savant, and that's the first character we're introduced to when we're introduced to the Suicide Squad.
Underrated actor, by the way.
He's in prison, they're playing a Johnny Cash song, and he's throwing a ball around, a bounce ball around inside of an outdoor prison detention area, and we see a little bird, and he's trying to kill this bird then, and he succeeds killing this bird relatively easy. Apparently he's a really good marksman, is what he's known for. I don't know the character in the DC universe that well, but in the cinematic universe, he's a marksman, and that's what he does. So Michael Rooker as Savant, we're introduced to him, and you said Javelin, correct?
Yeah, Javelin.
Okay, let me bring up Javelin real quickly. So we can kind of get a feel for all these characters and see, what we think kind of them. Let's see. I don't know if I had Javelin here.
Oh. Well, we can move on to, Weasel is one of the first ones, other ones.
Yep.
Which, that thing was gross. That thing was gross.
Yeah, Weasel was pretty gross. That was played by, what's-his-face's brother, right?
Right. Yeah, he had two roles in the movie. He played also, I think, Calendar Man also.
Yes, he did. He played Calendar Man, and that was James Gunn's brother, and I can't remember his first name.
Sean? Is it Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, yeah.
Ah, there's Javelin.
And then let's also not forget Blackguard.
Blackguard.
Yeah, Blackguard, as I will refer to as the most throwaway character in the entire film.
Pete Davidson's a throwaway person.
Yes.
Oh,
I can also agree with that.
Not funny.
No, I'm not a fan either. I don't think he's really funny. So,
what about the Ratcatcher character?
Flula Borg played.
Ratcatcher 2.
Yes, Ratcatcher 2, Kevin. There wasn't. Yeah. Ratcatcher 1 was also in it, but only in flashbacks.
We also don't want to forget about Mongal.
Mongal, yep.
Ratcatcher 2. Let's pull up Mongal.
Now, I've got to ask you fellas, King Shark looks like an awesome character. Was he a righteous and awesome character in the movie?
Yes. It's very funny.
King Shark is the... He's Groot in a very naughty way.
Yeah. He's definitely the Groot. But then, I guess people might have thought Weasel could have been also, but he definitely was gross. So he didn't fit that cute mold thing at all. I
think Sebastian actually picked up a little bit with that and ran with it, I think Sebastian was... a lot of people really liked the character of Sebastian the Rat, which was Ratcatcher 2's, best friend, basically. Sebastian was one of the team. Sebastian drank at the bar with them.
Yep.
Peacemaker specifically asked that he get his own glass. Sebastian saved the group, the team, multiple times. Saved Ratcatcher multiple times. At the beginning when King Shark was going to try to eat Ratcatcher while she was sleeping, Sebastian alerted the team. And again, later, just thinking off the top of my head, when Starro was coming for Ratcatcher, Sebastian led her through some rubble so she could crawl out of this dilapidated, collapsed building, so to speak.
Do you think there's going to be, in Game of Thrones, everybody started buying huskies? Maybe everybody start buying rats now?
No.
I don't know about that one now. Yeah.
We're getting a rat today.
Yeah.
Later today.
Maybe it's...
Name the rat Splinter.
All right.
Sure.
We've got some more comments here. Maria says, I was glad Blackguard was gone.
Yes.
Sammy says, yes, I actually agree with you, Donald. Oh, thanks, Sammy. Appreciate that. And then Sammy says, agreed, Maria. I mean, it's basically just Pete Davidson playing himself. Yes. Maria says, and TDK was so cool. Now, TDK stands for, of course, the Detachable Kid, which was played by Nathan Fillion. A very, very cool character. Alexi says, D-Money is back.
Howdy, sir. Thanks for joining us.
My mom talks about Savant. She said he was an ass. He killed the bird. Yes. And then later the bird, or a bird similar to that bird, pecked on the dead body of Savant and ate a piece of his brain, which was very poetic in many different ways and very fun.
I love that scene where that happens. His head gets blasted off and the bird starts eating, but the blood actually spells out Warner Brothers Presents.
Yes.
With the blood in the water. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Gorge says, even at the beginning of the film, Weasel looked like he had been savagely beaten. Kind of true. Kind of true. Weasel's a creep. Like, Weasel's like Jackie Earle Haley. I feel like that's as close as we can get to the human Weasel, Jackie Earle Haley.
And he ate like 12 or 13 kids or something, right? That was his character. That he ate children.
27.
27. There you go.
All right, so okay, so let's talk a little bit about our favorite characters in the film. We'll just go around here. Kevin, obviously you don't have one because you haven't seen the film. You're a very naughty boy. Chris,
yeah, shame on me.
Chris, who was your favorite character as far as one of the Suicide Squad members?
This is gonna sound really weird because this movie has better character development than all of the other like DC movies combined. I gotta say Polka Dot Man. I really enjoyed Polka Dot Man.
Yep.
I really loved his arc, and I loved the character, and I loved the actor that played. He did a really amazing job, and I don't know anything about the character, and I thought it was fantastic.
Polka Dot Man was pretty awesome character. Chris, I will say that it was played by David Dastmalchian. Yeah, something like that. But as much as you like Polka Dot Man, I feel like Polka Dot Man was overshadowed by Polka Dot Man's mother.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious.
Which I have on the screen right now. This is a scene where Polka Dot Man was told to, in fighting Starro, to envision Starro as being his mother. And this is the scene where he sees Starro as his mom. On the screen, I have it up right now. So it's really hilarious.
When they're dancing in the bar, and he's dancing, and all the people around him are his mom, I was dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Poor Kevin.
Yes. And my mom says he hated his mom. Yes, he did. He did hate his mom. Because his mom, in the film, I don't know, again, I don't know if this is in real life, like in the comic book world anyway, but his mom infected him with an alien virus, basically, to give him these powers because she wanted her children to be superheroes. So she worked for Star Labs, and she infected them and basically tormented her kids and treated them like experiments so she could, I don't know, look cool with her peers. I don't know. It was a very weird situation.
Well, what I liked about it was, that's Detective 300, by the way, where he makes his first appearance, the Polka Dot Man. What's cool about it is that he says that he had brothers and sisters, and I think the Ratcatcher asked him, did they live? And he said some of them. So, I mean, he could basically return because you don't know if he had a twin or not.
That's true. Yeah. In fact, I believe his name is attached to the Peacemaker series that's coming out in January on HBO.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So I think we're going to get to see that. Looks like we have a couple new guests, or somewhat new guests.
Yes. They're five people that I met here in Portland, Andrew and Christina.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us, Andrew and Christina. Appreciate it.
Donald, that Peacemaker show is a prequel, though, isn't it?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I don't think so.
Specifically at the end of the film, if you waited till after the credits, they showed Peacemaker in bed in the hospital, and two of the taskmasters, so to speak, of the Suicide Squad were like, we're getting saddled with him. So it's branching off towards the Peacemaker series. So I think what we're going to see, what they talked about in there is the Peacemaker's a naughty, naughty boy. He did some bad things, and he realizes that he had done some things that he should not have done. I think that he did it all for peace, but there's a line that he crossed, and he's realizing this now. So I think we're going to see kind of a redemption arc for the character of the Peacemaker in this HBO Max series. So I'm very much looking forward to this. In fact, so much so now more than ever, because this movie did so poorly, we don't know if we're going to get another Suicide Squad film ever again. And if we don't, at least we can get some of these characters into an HBO Max series, and we can follow along with them there. And that's our kind of that's what I love about where we're at right now in the cinematic world when it comes to comic books, is that if it doesn't do well on the big screen, they can always bring it to the small screen and find their niche audience, and it can do super well for them.
I'll say this about Peacemaker. Watching that, I felt like I was watching WWE all over again with John Cena with his character. I love him, but I hate him.
How about that fight between the Peacemaker and Rick Flag?
Oh, man, that was great.
That was good. Yeah.
Like Joel Kinnaman, he really kind of beefed himself up pretty good. He's no John Cena, but when you saw them, face to face and going at it, you could definitely tell that he could have put up a good fight. He could put up a good fight against him. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So when these guys went head to head, who were you rooting for?
I didn't like Peacemaker because the story led that, made him the bad guy, and I was following the story. I was really into the movie, so I didn't want the Peacemaker to win, and I like Joel Kinnaman's character. So, but I was like I said, I enjoyed everything about that movie, the direction it went, and everything, especially with that angle. Didn't think it was going to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Right.
Heel. He was the perfect heel.
Yeah.
But you wanted the hero to win.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was very well done.
Yeah, Rick Flag represented. There was a part in the film that I think so beautifully explained Rick's character when the freedom fighters were there with him, and he was getting ready to leave and go on the mission, and he turned to the leader of the freedom fighters and he said, when we're over at this tower fighting these bad guys, the president, the general of the bad guys, the general of the army that's in charge right now, he's going to come to us, and that's going to leave the Capitol, like the building of office, kind of almost empty. So you could possibly take over, while we're doing this. And she was like, well, you're a good man, Rick Flag. And he's like, well, I do my best. So even in the face of insurmountable odds, knowing that he's marching off most likely to his death, he's able to gift this country life and right. give them new leadership with somebody that he knows has the people's best interests at heart. And that shows the merit of that man.
I think he showed it a couple times throughout the movie. Like, I think with the original cast of the Suicide Squad from the first movie, he had a familiarity with them. He had closeness with them, especially like with Margot Robbie's character. Mm-hmm. And so he was part of the team. He was their leader.
You know what I kind of wanted to see was at the beginning, maybe like a quick flashback of Bloodsport and Rick Flag, kind of, so we could see that they worked together before, and that meant something to Bloodsport, right. and to Rick, rather than just backhanded, like off the cuff kind of mentioned it, which
right.
didn't quite work for me, but I understand time doesn't always allow these types of things. Right. Speaking, we've got a couple comments here. Scorch says, I think that Michael Rooker looks so goofy as Savant that I could hardly contain my laughter. That long grunge hair does not go with his face. True. I'm not going to lie. He looked a little goofy. Dixie Record. You tried. You tried. People like that version of Suicide Squad can't see DC ending the only film they got working. I don't know. I don't know, Walter. I'm not 100% that that's going to be the case. Like I said, I think they can branch that off into the HBO Max world.
Well, let me
sure.
ask you guys a question, if I can. Did you guys watch it in the theater, or did you actually watch it at home?
I watched it at home.
I did both. I watched it the first time at home, and then I went and watched it in the theater.
I watched it at home.
Okay, so are they counting the numbers from people watching it at home? I mean, yeah. I mean, if I can't go to the movie, I have a 3-year-old that sits in my lap. You know, I can't take him to the theater. I had to watch Black Widow that way also. I mean, yeah, I prefer to watch those big movies in a theater, but I mean, I think a lot of people saw it at home. They should definitely consider those numbers as well.
Well, yeah, the thing is, normally a streaming service won't willingly share their numbers off of. I just haven't known one to do it yet.
Sherlock Holmes' best scene is when they kill all the freedom fighters to get to Flag. That scene is hilarious on how they kill everyone. I totally agree. It was it's Bloodsport and Peacemaker basically showing off their skills and trying to brag which one's better.
Yeah.
And that's what we get. You know, we get them fighting and killing off all these people, what they think are the bad guys, and they're actually the good guys, the freedom fighters, and that leads to a bit of hilariousness as well.
Cock measuring contest.
Dixie says, enjoyed watching that SNL guy get headshotted. So, yes, we've talked about that for sure. Pete Davidson getting shot in the head. Yes, that was pretty amazing, Walter. Very, very cool.
I wonder if James Gunn knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And Scorch also says, I would like for Killer Croc to appear in another Suicide Squad movie. I'm not against it. I think it would be cool to see Killer Croc and King Shark kind of butt heads a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. In fact, it would.
Did any of you guys like the original?
The 2016?
Yeah.
I like parts of it. I like parts of it. I liked Harley Quinn, of course. I liked. I mean, I actually very, very much liked Captain Boomerang. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. I thought he was great. And, of course, Rick Flag's character was really well done. The things I didn't like was the Enchantress, unfortunately. Them making her kind of the villain of the film was in poor taste.
Also,
just a bad decision.
Also, you have the problem of the typical DC CGI villain at the end and basically taking you out of the movie.
Right. They did that again this one. They do have a CGI villain, but not technically the main villain, so to speak.
Oh, that's good.
And it's so goofy and fun that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to look real. It's supposed to look fun.
I will say the original Suicide Squad movie, I saw a great movie in there somewhere. I feel like if that were recut, there's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's like the difference between Justice League and Snyder Cut Justice League, but I'm going to say I feel like there is a better movie in there somewhere. Even though, like you, Donald, I definitely liked parts of it. Yeah,
there's good pieces of it, and I don't know necessarily that we would have got this film if that first one hadn't been made. So,
right.
You know, I appreciate it for that.
I think that if the Suicide Squad movie, like my son really enjoys the original one, he doesn't know those characters at all. And I think if you don't know who those characters are, you're watching a fun movie. But us, being the nerds that we are, know those characters and what they've been doing for years, and then you put it out and you're like, this isn't how it goes. This is not even remotely close. And I think that was a major factor in that movie not doing well. The characters, I think there were certain elements in that movie that definitely could have made a better movie. I just don't understand David Ayer's love of gangsters and having to have them in all his movies. Everything's a gang, you know.
It's true.
It works here, it works there, but definitely not in Suicide Squad, the original.
Would you consider this movie like the Silence of the Lambs to the Manhunter of the 2016 version?
No.
No.
I love both those movies a lot. I consider this probably the most expensive trauma movie ever made, is what James Gunn did.
Wow.
Yeah.
The most expensive trauma movie, I can't say that word, trauma movie ever made. Wow.
This is what this is, yeah.
Lloyd Kaufman had a brief cameo in that movie, so. In the bar. He was in the bar.
Oh, well, I loved it. And it felt like that to me, like when I like first 25, 30 minutes, and I'm like, dude, I'm watching a trauma movie.
Yeah.
You know, crazy ass plot, crazy ass characters that,
Super
you know,
boring.
yeah, except that he had a crazy ass budget.
Yeah. Yeah, which is nice. Which gives us hope for the Toxic Avenger film
Right.
that's currently working on. And Julio, you do live claim sales on Wednesdays at We Can Be Heroes on Instagram. So anybody that wants a really cool comic shop that they can buy cool books from, check out Julio's shop. And they do ship all across the U.S., so you can definitely do that.
All
But
across the world, man.
you've had
All across the world.
You've
really?
had
So you ship
multiple.
to Japan and China?
In China too.
Julio,
Oh,
you've
wow.
had multiple Toxic Crusader comic #1 first appearances in your live claim sales recently, if I recall.
Yeah, I think we're all done. But we definitely miss you on the show, Donald. Definitely miss you.
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank
if you've noticed all the special guests that we've had behind the camera.
No, I haven't.
Dude, they're customers.
Oh, cool.
They're actual customers from the claim sales that have shown up and asked if they could do it because they knew you were gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's so weird that people want to be in that room with us. It's like, it's not really big. You know, it's not.
Right.
The room has magic.
It
Yeah.
gets hot. Julio gets drunk. You know.
I do.
It's good and bad. I mean, you know, if you're there and you're one of the crew, it's a lot of fun, and it's, you know, there's a camaraderie, so to speak. And I think that people on the live claim sale, they see that and they just want to be there to be a part of it. And I understand that. Yeah.
It's funny because we've all gotten recognized somewhere, everybody that's been in that room because of the show, except for Will. It hadn't happened to Will. Even guest people have been like, "Hey, you're from Two Guys One Box," and then it happened to Will this Sunday.
Finally happened.
Like, "Hey, man, you're from We Can Be Heroes. You're famous," and took a picture of Showtime, him, and Sean. Recognized them from the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
I mean, maybe one day we'll be like you guys. We can't even go anywhere.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We have a few comments. Christina says, I want a more Weasel, honestly. And Andrew says, is Weasel a real character from comics, or was he just purely a comical character? Well, actually, Andrew, he was a real character. Fury of Firestorm issue 35, I believe, was the first appearance of the Weasel. And the Weasel was actually a dude in a costume that was just batshit crazy and wanted to kill his competition. So he dressed as a weasel to do it. Go figure. So actually, James Gunn version is a lot more fun, I think. Although I think you could make a guy getting in a costume and saying, I'm the Weasel, be kind of fun too. But
True.
I
get Pauly Shore to do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Holy shit, that would have been great. I forgot about that.
Hey, did you guys notice in the women's prison part when they go visit Ratcatcher, that girl that was all colors? She had like different.
Yeah, who was that?
That was Kaleidoscope.
Oh.
Now, Kaleidoscope back in I want to say it was the mid '80s, or sometime around the mid '80s. They had Marvel had a contest where somebody can invent a character and they would use it for one book, and that was Kaleidoscope. Somebody invented. I think two people invented Kaleidoscope and sent it to Marvel, and automatically became Marvel property, and they used it for that one issue. And Kaleidoscope made it on to the Suicide Squad movie, and the two people that invented her got a credit in the movie.
Oh, so wait, was it a Batman or a Detective Comics appearance?
I don't remember. Probably. I would imagine so.
Because that sounds very familiar, but I could be wrong. I've known to be wrong a few times in my life. Just a few.
it's pretty funny that they were in there. That she was in there.
Andrew says, how do you make a trauma film that fits into today's PC culture? LOL. Sherlock Holmes says, everyone is trying to take Donald's camera job. Janet says, Kevin, are those campfire audio headphones?
Yes, they are.
Oh, fancy. Oh, I see you responded, Kevin. I'm sorry. Andrew says, interesting. Thank you for the background. Of course, Andrew. Taylor says, did you see the guy who played Polka Dot Guy? It's Polka Dot Man, Taylor, for starters. Adopted a cat on set, and the costume designer on set made the cat a polka dot costume suit as well. Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Awesome. Just showed a picture of it. It's pretty cool.
I did not see that. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds really awesome. Okay, so we're caught up. Oh, Blue Sky. Hey, Sky. Says, hey, guys. Well, thank you for joining, Blue Sky. Always appreciate it, having people on.
Real quick, I got a question about Weasel. Well,
sure.
Still on it. Like, she said that everyone had a, like, special skill or a reason to be on the team.
Yeah.
Why was Weasel there?
Not for his swimming skills, I'll tell you that.
Because I feel like out of like a gun where they were expecting a gunfight, clearly he couldn't do anything. He was just a body just to take a bullet.
That's. I think that's exactly why they wanted him in there.
Yeah, he's expendable and not necessary.
Very expendable. Had killed 26 or 27 children, I believe is what they said.
Yep.
You kind of want them to be cannon fodder at that point, but you can't yet kill them because they don't have the mental capacity to know what they're doing. So that's probably why he was still alive. So they were like, well, let's just put him in that program, and if he dies, it's great. You know, one less person we got to pay for.
He dies.
And my mom says because it was in the script, Chris.
Ha!
There's that.
There's that.
There's definitely that.
So there's that. Yeah. Okay, so we've got we mentioned some favorite characters. I think Chris, you mentioned yours, right?
Yep.
And Julio, did you mention your favorite character?
No, I'm gonna have to say it's Harley Quinn. I think she's been underutilized in everything. I think her movie was. I mean, she's great. I love Margot Robbie. She's super cute. She looks like Harley. She's got that dead eye stare thing down perfect. I don't think anybody else could play her. And I think that this movie actually, showed what she can do as Harley Quinn. Everything about that conversation she was having with the president and how he was falling in love with her, everything was great on that scene. It was fantastic. I don't want to ruin it for you, Kevin. Great.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more of. I would love to see another Harley Quinn movie, especially something if James Gunn can do it. I think it would be great.
Yeah. Margot Robbie, I've heard conflicting stories that she's kind of tired and wants to take a break, and I also heard that she's down for another adventure. So I guess
I think that when the movie was supposed to come out, I think she was tired, and I think it was delayed like a year, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I think at the beginning she was definitely tired, but I would love to see her do it again, and not something called Harley Quinn's Emotional Mess Up Weekend. Just a Harley Quinn movie,
Yeah.
Because I think that killed it. And my kid likes the movie. He watches it all the time, but I'm like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
You allow your kids to watch R-rated movies?
Yeah, I mean, comic book violence movies, sure, no problem. I'm not gonna let them watch Silence of the Lambs.
We did a 4-parter where we did on the podcast you voting for the Ultimate TV Showdown a few weeks back, and it lasted for a month. And in there we gave away a prize. It was the Harley Quinn animated series, Volume 1 and 2, Season 1 and 2, basically. And I feel like that is an amazing representation of the character and what she can do. And I feel like a lot of people haven't seen that. So if you're watching this pod right now, after you're done, don't leave right now, of course. When we're done, then you can leave. And then go to HBO Max, find the animated series Harley Quinn, and watch it. Watch an episode or two. It's only like half an hour an episode, and you won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. Very graphic, very vulgar, but very, very fun. And the characters are amazing. Clayface at his finest. A completely different rendition of King Shark that you've never seen in a very, very fun, clever way. We get Poison Ivy in a very unique way that we haven't really had her before, and we get a lot of other new characters too that get introduced, like the old dude in the wheelchair that's basically a transformer.
Transformer.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Hype man.
Oh, hell yeah. Kite Man, loved him. We get some
HBO
more.
Max is doing really good with their DC shows. I really enjoy them.
Yes, they have. I'm going to give all the credit to Legends of Tomorrow, but there's some other good stuff out there too.
No, I love Legend of Tomorrow. The Doom Patrol on HBO Max is great.
Yes.
Titans just restarted, and I couldn't wait to watch it. I watched the first 3 episodes the first night it came out, and
Nice.
and it's good so far.
Nice.
Good so far.
We got a few more comments. Taylor says, I'm glad Pete Davidson only lasted 10 minutes. LOL, I don't like him. See, we got another one. Great.
Yep.
Thank you, Taylor. Everybody here, well, most people here thinks he's trash. So, there we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Trash. Good word.
Sorry to Pete Davidson fans.
I do not have any opinion whatsoever when it comes to Pete Davidson. As you know, I am bound by contractual obligation. I do not endorse nor condemn any of your remarks.
Andrew says the flower scene with Harley Quinn was awesome. Totally agree with the javelin. Holy shit, amazing. Really well done. In her emotional response to seeing the Suicide Squad coming to rescue her is classic Harley, and also it's charming, it's wonderful, it's hilarious, it's everything that you want in a Harley Quinn, and James just nailed it. She nailed it. Just everything was just so good.
I think he nailed it with Amanda Waller. I mean, because she is super cutthroat.
Yes.
And she's even more cutthroat than she was in the first movie, which is more indicative of what she was in the book.
She was better in this one, for sure. She was more of a true villain.
Yeah, she stood up to Batman several times in his face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So
You have a butler, don't you? You want him to live? Shit like that. She's a mean son of a bitch, and they showed that. Sammy says, I think she felt like the studio didn't have a plan, so she quit. I think she's talking about Harley. Maria says, agree, Andrew. I wish they incorporated more of that style throughout with the flowers and stuff. I could see that. I think that would have been really well done. But Maria, if you recall, that's Harley's world. So that's the way she sees her world. So that's why we had that piece with her specifically. We just didn't have it all the time with her because I think that could get a little distracting. So, but I think they did a good job with that scene to kind of display that, yes, she's still kind of Looney Tunes and this is her world with all these animated, colorful things. Christina says, I really loved her monologue about why she killed the dictator. It was nice to see that sweet care behind that intense crazy. Again, a wonderful scene. She really shined in this. She didn't get as much time as we would like, but every scene she was in was wonderful, and she really did kind of steal the show in a lot of ways. Andrew says, Christina and I are watching Doom Patrol right now, and we love it. Just started season 3 of Titans, and we dig that too. Andrew, I'm so glad. Danny the Street, I think, is probably my favorite character from Doom Patrol, next to Robot Man, which is Brendan Fraser, of course, and I think the Bird Hunter is also a pretty amazing character too, particularly because I love that actor.
Flex Metallo.
Yeah, Flex too. Yeah, with the muscle thing.
And the Cyborg in this show is better than the movie version.
Agreed. Yep. Jarrett says, great for the kids, exclamation point. Maria says she had other scenes that they could have used the Harley world motif. Of course, again, they could have. They may have done that, and they took it out or something because they thought maybe it was a little bit much, or maybe they didn't have the time, or maybe they just stylistically thought that they would just want it in that one intense, lovely scene. But it would have been cool, I think, as well, when she was killing that president dude. Like that, we could have seen some beauty there too, some flowers and shit and birds and stuff. Like a whole little Snow White or Sleeping Beauty, Wonderland where she's dancing with an owl dressed as a man and whatever. Just had fun with it. Taylor says, is the Shark Man a DC character or an add-on for this movie? I really enjoyed him. You are referring to King Shark, and Julio, what was his first appearance?
I think it's Superboy 9.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Right on the money.
Cameo is in 0. It's in 0 and then 9. Is the full appearance.
Well, the cameo is his teeth. So it's basically a smile and him saying like one phrase.
Now, is the King Shark not supposedly a human?
He was a human in the books, and then something happened to him. He was even a human in the CW shows that turned into a shark.
Yeah, I think. Didn't he get like affected by when Star Labs blew up or something?
Yeah.
The shark or something.
Yeah, and he's great on that too.
And
they've done a really good job with King Shark.
How about Sylvester Stallone doing the voice for King Shark?
Great.
My hat's off to him for that.
I've never been able to say the word num num ever again the same way.
Num num? You're just going to say it like that all the time, right, Chris? Num num.
Num num.
Oh, yeah. And then when Idris Elba is like telling him, hey, num num. And he's just pointing at Starro. He's just like, yeah, totally. So good.
King Shark's the best. I got a little picture of him up on the screen. He's a really cool character and somebody that I was legitimately worried about throughout the entire thing. And I know maybe it's silly, I shouldn't have been, but I loved him so much. The mustache scene where he was talking about he can disguise himself, and they're like, how? And he's like, I'll wear a mustache. And they're like, what? And then not more than 5 minutes later, he's walking around like this.
Yeah.
Mustache.
We've totally ruined this movie for Kevin.
It's all right.
Yeah, sorry, Kevin.
Well, he could have went to the hot tub.
It's true.
That's true, but I could have.
Christina loved King Shark as well. Maria says his father is a shark god. Jarrett, he said fake mustache, so yeah, he's right on. Mom says she loved him. And Andrew, yes, for real, that was Sylvester Stallone. James called him up and said, hey, I have a gig for you. I have a job. And Sylvester said, anything for you, brother. And he said, I want you to play a shark god that's a dumbass, basically. And he was laughing, and he said, sure, why not? So, because he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. So
he's part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy team.
Yeah. What character did he play in the movie?
Gosh.
It wasn't Star-Lord. It's Star something.
I want to say, for some reason, I want to say Star Fox, but that's not it.
Yeah, no, that's like a Nintendo game.
Judge
Kevin, you look it up with your research here, and we'll keep going. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone played a different character in another James Gunn film, which is why he's in this one, basically.
And he's good in that, and I was really surprised to see him in that, and he was really good. And I heard that's
Starhawk. He played Starhawk.
Thank you.
Starhawk. Yeah, he's supposed to take over, right? And if they ever do another, that's the Guardian team that's going to take over.
So in Volume 3, he has to be in there whenever year that comes out in the future.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, those that are prospecting right now, Omega the Unknown. Look it up. Buy the #1 issue. It's super cheap, guys. Get it while you can.
Why is this a spec? Why is this a spec? Tell us why.
Because Omega the Unknown is one of those characters that's just so zany and out there that James Gunn would just naturally gravitate towards it. So it just seems like a perfect fit. Also, he's kind of a space character, but not really, but kind of. So I think we'll either see Omega or Quasar, or maybe a little bit of both, possibly. So it's a shot in the dark, but I think it's a good shot in the dark because Omega the Unknown is a character that's really cool, but really unknown.
and prices are decent right now, so you're right. Now is the time to swoop it up.
Maria loves the mustache. Christina says hand. And Starhawk, thank you, Jarrett. Taylor says, who played the long-haired old guy in the beginning of the movie? That was Michael Rooker, who played Savant, the character Savant.
And I think every single James Gunn movie since, it's like, well, I think the only one he wasn't in was Romeo and Juliet. Well, Scooby-Doo. He wasn't in Scooby-Doo.
Ah, it's true. Two actors that have been in almost every single James Gunn film, Nathan Fillion and Michael Rooker.
And his brother.
Yes, and his brother. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes says, so now the real question is, who is the best comic book movie director, James Gunn or Jon Favreau? Thoughts?
Oh, Sam Raimi. You can't forget Sam Raimi.
True. Yeah. I think we're especially going to... We're going to be thinking about Sam Raimi with the...
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Well, if he makes Spider-Man dance, he's done.
Yeah, emo Spider-Man.
What if he came back?
500 Days of Summer guy who directed the Spider-Man movie?
Oh, Mark Webb or something like that?
You would think
Mark
with
Webb
a guy with that last name would be good at directing a Spider-Man film, but no.
Oh.
Nah.
Those films are trash, and we should forget they exist. Let's see. My mom says he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone was. Definitely, Mom.
I'd have to throw the Russo brothers in there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, all their movies have been pretty darn good.
Yep.
Matter of fact, we can argue they made the best MCU movie of all time in Captain America Winter Soldier.
I would say if I'm going to go with...
Yeah, but didn't Thor Ragnarok beat Intercompetition?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, true.
Thor Ragnarok 1 out of all of them is the best Marvel movie, for sure.
I think so. I agree with you, Donald.
Comics director, then.
My friend Katie here, she says, she texted me and she said, I just walked in the door from work, and King Shark is seriously my favorite. You just want to give him a hug. He's so sweet. Yeah, he's kind of a big goofball that everybody loves when he's not eating you. You just got to make sure that you're his friend.
Uh-huh.
Right up front. Make sure you tell him you're his friend, and then you're good.
Very important.
Yes.
Very important.
I really felt bad for him a few times when everyone else was like, hanging out, being friends, and he was all left alone. I was like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah. Christina says, never forget emo Spider-Man. Christina, I kind of want to go out dancing with him. I'm going to be real on this.
Yeah.
I think he would be great to, get drunk and go out on the town and have a really good time dancing. I can see that. So,
would you be chilling with emo Spider-Man, or would you be chilling with emo Green Goblin?
Totally Spider-Man. 100% emo Spider-Man over emo Green Goblin. Totally.
That's an amazing Spider-Man 2 reference. That's an amazing Spider-Man 2 reference, the greatest of Spider-Man movies. No.
By the way, in another segment of What's in Donald's Childhood Room Back Home, I have this little thing that says Lucky Charms on the outside.
Uh-huh.
And when you flip it open, it's a keyboard.
Oh!
Magically delicious keyboard. Look at that.
That's ridiculous. I thought you were going to have, the purple horseshoe and a blue diamond and,
I think we have a friend who has an 80s nostalgia room that you should be donating that to.
Yes. Our friends of the podcast are Tony and Josh would probably very much appreciate that. Perhaps if I can get the batteries replaced on this, I could do that. Or maybe just do it because I can't get the batteries replaced. One or the other. I mean, I can't figure out.
What does the keyboard do?
Plays music. Yeah. It's just literally the battery's dead, so I can't. But there's also inside a little musical instruction booklet, songbook, on how to play certain...
Look at that songbook and tell me how many charms were available at that time. Because now there's 96.
There's 6.
So wait, is that thing 30 years old?
Yeah, probably.
No.
Yeah. Probably about 30 years old, bud.
I mean, some people in this live chat weren't even born yet when you got that thing.
Shut up, Kevin. You're older than me.
Who said that?
Everybody. They just look at you and they know. Christina says Spider-Man for sure, emo Spider-Man. Marika says, oh my god, I had one of those. You did? Really? Huh. Weird. That's random. I've never known anybody else to have one of these. Huh. Well,
Excellent.
I'll get the batteries replaced, and if you find yours, maybe we can start a band.
I can't.
That man sucked.
Right? That could work. Okay, so Darren, your favorite character?
Due to various non-disclosure agreements and previous contractual obligations, I will not be sharing any of my favorite or least favorite characters with you this evening.
You see, he has to be neutral. He has to be Switzerland on today's broadcast.
All right, so Darren, I'm going to pick for him. Let's see here. I'm going to choose...
Won't that violate his NDA, though?
I'm
Nope.
going to be poker face in this.
I got it. Here's Darren's favorite character, Amanda Waller.
Mm.
They made some cool posters. I got this poster up of Amanda Waller. It just looks so cool. It's like her surrounded by bombs.
And played by a great actress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's award-winning, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah. And when she, we were all really pissed because it wasn't CCH Pounder, because she did the voice for Amanda Waller in the animated DC stuff, and she was so perfect as the voice of Amanda Waller that we just wanted her to play Amanda Waller in the film.
Yeah.
And then they ended up making it not CCH Pounder. They ended up making it Viola Davis, which was like, it's cool, but I think I didn't really respect her as Amanda Waller until this Suicide Squad film. And then I was like, whoa, actually she's great. Never mind, I take it back.
Well, CCH Pounder is good, but when you can get an Academy Award actress that wants to play a character like this, I'm going to go with it.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. And my mother says she knows how to get away with murder. So
that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
She does.
And Kevin, just from the trailer and from our discussion tonight where we ruined the film for you, who is your favorite character?
From the comments that are being made, it seems to me that King Shark must be the most fun character in the whole movie. So you know what? I'll go with King Shark.
King Shark's pretty fun.
Plus, Sylvester Stallone, one of the all-time great actors of all time. I can't go wrong there. I don't mind watching Sly on the screen, even if he's just doing a voice.
Again, I am going to go with Polka Dot Man's mother. Probably my favorite character in the film. I know that sounds really strange, but I really, 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 really loved the idea behind it, and I thought it was just so clever and so well done. Just knocked it out of the park. I think James Gunn knocked it out of the park. Now, since we are getting we're getting a spinoff, the Peacemaker spinoff. If they were to spin off one other or maybe two other characters, I want to hear everybody on the panel's thoughts on this, on if that would work, which characters they would want or they could see being in a series. On the panel, I want to hear from, and in the chats as well. I want to hear what other people think. So, Kevin,
Duke of Newhall, I think you should go first.
All right, sounds good.
There's so many. Wow. I think I would have to go with the Thinker.
Yeah.
I think that guy did all that thing to his head to make his brain work a little better and to amplify his thoughts and everything. I think it'd be kind of a cool see everything he's been involved in over his lifetime. I'm sure he can cross roads with all those characters in one way or another, or other ones.
Yeah, maybe we could see. Maybe we could see his early relationship with Starro as well. That could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you, Dr. Chris Turner?
TDK probably. Just wasn't enough TDK in the movie. Need more TDK.
Yeah.
He's like Cowbell. You got to have more.
Yeah.
Just a great scene where he detaches his arms and sends them out onto the battlefield, and then it's like slapping people around and pulling their helmets down over their face. It's the most...
Dude,
And-
Harley and Colonel Flagg's reaction to it was hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? And he's like, I didn't pick the team. You know? It's great. Love that character. You're right, Chris. A very, very, very cool character. And if he had his own series, I don't know what I would do, but I think it would be pretty awesome. Kevin, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I do like anthropomorphic animals, so I wouldn't mind watching a King Shark spin-off series. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And by the way, team up almost like a buddy cop movie with Killer Croc.
Yeah, that could be fun. I would say probably if Darren had to choose, he would go with Idris Elba as Bloodsport.
Now, hold on.
Oh,
I know you want to put words in my mouth, and you're expecting a stock answer.
Right.
And I will just respond by saying there are a lot of choices that they could make.
That's great. Yeah, but I also agree with the opinion I gave you, Darren. I think Bloodsport with Idris Elba, I think, created this really rich character. And I love all his gadgets and his guns and stuff, and I'm very fascinated with his back history, his story, and maybe we could see actually what did happen between him and Rick Flag and how they became friends and stuff, and when they fought together. I think that could be cool.
So they could do something with the mom too. His the one he had, the kid's mom, because we don't know who his mom is. She could be like some weird superhero or Suicide Squad.
That's true.
member.
Could be Livewire. Never know. Taylor says off topic, but did you hear that Disney is possibly dropping Scarlett Johansson? Or is it the other way around, Taylor?
Mm.
Yes. Andrew says, did you guys talk... Andrew says, did you guys talk about Javelin Man? What is his story? His weapons seem pretty epic, like Mjolnir or something. So the Javelin first appeared in a Green Lantern comic book, in the 80s, I think?
Yeah, I believe it was like in the 1980s. Sounds about right.
And if I recall, he was just really good with a Javelin. I don't remember the Javelin having, like, a true destiny, like in the film.
Yeah, that's a great scene, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great scene, too.
Taylor says Javelin Man should have his own series. Okay. Maria says, Taylor, I thought Scarlett's contract was already complete with the last movie. I think they were doing a passing the torch for the next phase, which is why she wasn't afraid to sue. And Taylor says she was supposed to be Tower of Terror, and they've already dropped it. Yes, that is true. She was supposed to be in that Tower of Terror, and I'm very sad about that because I love the Tower of Terror.
I know. We got to experience that 5 years ago, one last time.
Oh, man, and I have a picture of that. I'll post it at some point on Instagram so everybody can enjoy. It's Kevin basically shitting himself.
Well, you know what? Most people would
like
crap themselves in their pants.
This is Kevin on the ride. Great. It's great. Sherlock Holmes says Sebastian the Rat spin-off series. It would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Christina says, I mean, Weasel ran away at the end. I'd like to see what he could do. What he could do more, but is there enough even? Probably not, LOL. I'm sure he will pop up again in someone's spin-off. Possibly in the Peacemaker series, yeah.
He's going to go out into that town and eat poor kids. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
No one's going to know it.
Maria says, yes, Sebastian and Ratcatcher 2 series would be awesome. And Andrew says King Shark and Polka Dot Man spinoff. That's interesting. Sammy says she dropped them. If anything, they screwed her over. See, Sammy, that's what I said. And Andrew says they could do a Weasel show that's like the Star Wars Christmas special.
True.
Oh, man, that deserves to be put up on the screen, Andrew. I'm putting that up. There we go.
Well, Polka Dot Man could actually have a really good show because he could have his mom talking to him. It can be like a Deadpool situation.
True.
Kind of like Psycho, a little bit Norman Bates.
Yeah. I could see that. That would be very cool. Yeah, speaking of which, has anybody seen the Bates Motel series that AMC had a while back? It was like 5 seasons.
Heard nothing but good things.
It's stellar. It's stellar. It's like on par, I believe, with Breaking Bad. I'm sorry.
Really?
Hate me if you want, but I think it's that damn good. It is an excellent series, and it's a shame that more people don't know about it or have seen it. And I feel like after we're done with this podcast and you watch your first couple episodes of the Harley series on HBO Max, you can go to, I believe it's still on Netflix, and you can find Bates Motel, and you can watch an episode or two of that and enjoy that as well. And then later we can all talk about it.
There was a show in the late 80s based on the Bates Motel where like the niece or the granddaughter or somebody reopened the hotel, and it had nothing to do with horror. It was very weird.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. But I remember, I think that's when I cut it out with the Psycho movie.
It's kind of like the show Friday the 13th. It has nothing to do with
Didn't
Jason.
do with Jason. Yep, that's true.
I liked that show when I was a kid. So. They were just collecting all these relics that were haunted.
Now, see, I was too scared to watch it.
Yeah, there was no Jason in it, definitely.
Well, luckily we're getting Chucky with Chucky.
Oh, well, there's that. I'd rather have Chuck E. Cheese the movie, to be honest.
Wow.
Also,
Now, would you tell it to Chucky's face?
You know what? I would tell it to Oscar's face.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, first of all, Charles Cheese is the Rat King. I don't think there's any rat that's in his, in his thing. But you guys do remember about Chuck E. Cheese during the entire pandemic. They were operating under a pseudonym of a company, and they were actually delivering pizza out. People were like, dude, this pizza's so bad. Trying to find the name of the restaurant. Then they're like, dude, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Pasquale's Pizza, by the way.
Pasquale's, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Jarrett says, how has Kevin not seen the film and he is on the panel to discuss it? This is shameful.
How is Jared not present on his own podcast?
Kevin,
Ooh.
Kevin, I must say, yes. Oh man, that's oof. Kevin, I must say that your background, it's nice to actually be able to see your face and see around you instead of like a fake backdrop all the time. This is nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
See the sky and the and
Yes.
the trees.
See the Portland
Yeah.
sky, the Oregon sky, and air.
My niece Taylor, she's seen Bates Motel as well and loved it.
Oh, that's
And
good.
Taylor says, so was Ratcatcher 1 her dad, or did she have a sibling? Ratcatcher 1 was her father, yes. And she took over for him.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. You say it so much better than I say it because I butcher his name every time.
It took practice.
It is good
He's a
practice.
New Zealand man.
Talented guy, man. I mean, he's just finished the script for his Star Wars movie, which I can't
really?
wait to see because it'll probably blow doors on everything that's come out.
Jared says, I'm doing drugs and watching my 2-year-old. I'm watching my 2-year-old. That's what he's doing tonight.
Wow.
At least he got the order.
What kind of drugs? Which kind of drugs are you doing, Jarrett? Pray tell.
Caffeine is technically a drug, depending on how you see it.
Very true, very true.
Chocolate can be considered a drug.
It sure can.
Wasn't Taika only in the movie because something he was shooting got canceled or something like that?
Who?
Taika.
Oh, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, like something he was shooting got canceled, so he was able to be in that at the time.
I think that's true, and it might have been like some What We Do in the Shadows type stuff or something.
Yeah,
That would make sense. Sherlock Holme is asking, how excited are you guys for Shang-Chi? Oh, minimally.
I'm willing to give it a chance. I mean, I'm sure it's going to have some cool action sequences, martial arts sequences. The thing I'm a little concerned with, does it have character development,
Right. Are we actually getting the Mandarin now, guys? Do we know this for sure?
Well, it's called the Ten Rings. We better start getting the Mandarin at this point. And I mean the real Mandarin.
Yeah, but when they said the 10 rings, like there's 5 rings around the wrists of Shang-Chi's father, apparently, and those are like 10 rings. So I don't know. Is that what they're going to call
Maybe
the
they're
10
switching
rings?
things up. Instead of them being like rings you put on your fingers, maybe it's rings you put on your arms. Maybe they're switching things up a bit.
Onion rings.
But I mean,
Andrew
he
says,
is the movie.
I'm stoked for Shang-Chi. As someone who loves martial arts choreography, I really hope that they film the fight scenes well and have some authentic kung fu.
Unlike Iron Fist. Yes, I sure hope you're right.
Right. Yeah. We have to very much make that point. Like, if they try to pull that shit in movie form, like, fuck
You're
right
done.
off. Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
They'll be out the door.
I hope it's good. I mean, are they playing that on Disney Plus or is it straight to the movie theater?
Ooh.
I think that one's a movie theater only.
Yeah, I think so.
Or it might be the one, I think that's going like 10 days or something just in the theater, and then we'll go to Disney Plus. I think it was Norton was doing it. It might be that one.
Real quick, I want to mention we do have a sponsor, a really great sponsor. It's Splattered Frog Brewing Company.
Yes.
Go to splatteredfrog.com, type in the code SHORTBOX, save 20% off on your order. They have shirts, hats, and I believe they have pint-size glasses as well now available, or will be available in the coming week that you can purchase. And they are a great sponsor. They have some great beer. In fact, my father, for his birthday, my mother ordered some beer, having it specially gifted to my father for his birthday from Splattered Frog Brewing Company. Kind of a test beer, and they loved it, and they saved me a bottle. Chris, they saved me a bottle, and I'm going to have some. So it's going to be fabulous.
Now, did you say 20% off with the code SHORTBOX?
Yep, 20% off, dude.
20% off, that goes a long way during these pandemic economic times. Take advantage of this offer, brothers and sisters. SHORTBOX, 20% off code.
Awesome. I can't wait. I haven't tried it yet. I'm eager.
Yeah, the more merch you buy, the quicker he'll be able to actually start getting beer out to people.
That's true. Also, we have another sponsor, a soft sponsor by the name of Half's Hot Sauce. Half'sHotSauce.com. Go there and type in the code Donald Hiccups. Save yourself 10% off on your order. They have a wonderful multitude of hot sauces, including a dill pickle hot sauce called Trippy Pickle, which is now my mother's favorite hot sauce. As she opened the bottle that she won on the podcast during our big television Battle of the Titans. My mother won a bottle of hot sauce and actually waited to open that until I got here, and then we had some together. Loved it.
That's very nice.
Dino B says, spoken like a true politician, Kevin.
Yes, indeed.
And my mom says she's waiting on her t-shirt. That's right, 'cause she ordered one. So she also ordered a t-shirt, Chris.
Gentlemen, it has been so fun rejoining you this evening.
I knows.
I have nothing to say, because of various other contractual obligations. But
Right. Well, it's just good to have you on and see you in the backdrop there of your favorite movie.
And it's also great to have Jared in the comments section too, as also one of the original members of the podcast show, as he is also handling other obligations.
Julio,
Aaron, what is your background?
that would be the movie Iron Man. You got Agent Coulson on your far right. You got Tony Stark on the left, and you got me serving Tony Stark a drink.
Oh, that's cool.
And you shot this back in 2007, is that correct, Mr. Darren?
2006 is when it was filmed.
My goodness, 06.
Yeah, it was filmed in 2006, released in 2007. It was interesting. The other night, someone was just from my work was actually just watching Iron Man and sent a picture over to a few members in production and said, "Is this Darren?" And it turns out, and I said, "I can confirm for you, it is me." So, yeah, that's part of the reason I put it up again. It was just kind of fun to remember that again. It's always good when people just randomly discover stuff.
It's
That's
true.
awesome.
It's
You're
true.
part of the Marvel universe.
Yep.
Yes.
He's the beginning of the MCU. He's the good luck charm.
There's also a rumor that Darren might be playing Iatu the Watcher in a future MCU movie. I know you can't say anything because you're under contract. You're under NDA.
Confirm nor deny anything that you are currently saying right at this moment.
I wouldn't mind playing one of the three heads of the Living Tribunal. I would appreciate that if I was able to get that particular role.
Well, I think you should be the court jester and on the planet of junk with the Sharkticons.
Yeah.
Just rotates himself and transforms.
Guilty or innocent? Innocent.
You talking about the Quintessons. You want the Quintessons.
Kevin, do you want to be one of the three heads? You certainly could, because you definitely are two-faced.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh!
Now one should talk. One should talk. My goodness.
Speaking of some three head name dropping, I was at a wedding with the dude who played one of the three heads of Ghidorah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's some three head celebrity stories there for you.
Yes, Mom, I know. I'm sorry, Kevin. I was just teasing. My mom's on me now. I was just teasing.
There you go.
Great. Now I'm not going to get any pie for dessert.
I know. If I were you, you better stay downstairs for the next 2 days.
Or upstairs, which is where I'm at.
Well, I'm sorry. Stay upstairs for the next 2 days.
I'm sorry. Did you say the people under the stairs?
Yes. My parents under the stairs. Christina says, just because I don't know anything, what is the contractual obligation?
You'll please refer to the beginning of this podcast. I had a prepared statement that I read for everybody.
Yeah, just go back in time, Christina, to watch the first 15 minutes of the show. You'll see it. You'll understand.
Because if I read it again, people would tune out en masse.
It's true.
And I don't know if I would quite blame them.
Yeah, it's also true. Any last minute questions or anything the audience might have? And any last minute kind of statements or things about the movie, the Suicide Squad movie, that anybody in the panel here wants to make?
I just hope one day
you get to see it.
Maybe in 2026. Oh. Well, not only will I see it, but hopefully there'll be a third one of some kind in the next 5 to 10 years. One day.
I would love that.
Maybe.
Yeah, especially if James Gunn's going to direct it.
Yeah.
And write it.
And Julio, you said Max is a huge fan of this one, right?
Oh yeah. No, he called it his favorite DC movie.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
He is a huge movie nerd. He's still upset at you guys about your John Carpenter list. He brings it up all the time.
Look, I had nothing to do with that. I blame Darren and Donald for that.
Is he busy, Julio? Did he want to come in and mention his favorite character?
He's downstairs with his mom watching a movie right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, Max can come on the show and give these men a piece of their mind, give D&D a piece of his mind.
I mean, Mike, people can have legitimate beefs. Beef is what's for dinner.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. And sometimes beef may taste good.
Bring up John. If you guys see him in the shop walking around, bring up John Carpenter to him, and he will talk your ear off about it. It's so funny that he's so into those movies. So
John Carpenter is a major influence on my professional career. I can't blame your son one bit.
Oh no, I mean the only reason I choose to write anything is because of John Carpenter. Those movies live in my brain. Everything I do, I try to emulate. Yeah. I've talked to him. I've talked to him a couple times and told him to his face that the only reason I write is because I am. Yeah, I've always loved movies that you can be scared, still have a fun time, or an adventure.
Oh,
you can still have a fun time. There's always that fun factor in all his movies.
Yep, Big Trouble in Little China is got to be in my top 20 films of all time. That I love it so much. I have so much fun with it every time I watch it. I find something new and exciting.
They Live is also a great classic.
I actually watched A Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell and James Gunn in the audience.
That's super cool.
That's awesome.
That is super cool.
Beyond Fest. If they bring Beyond Fest back this year, which I highly recommend, it's at the Egyptian Theater. It's like a week and a half of movies that they play at the Egyptian Theater, and they always have like an actor being interviewed there. And this one was James Gunn interviewing Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell had not watched Big Trouble since they screened it for the studio.
Ha!
Wow.
He didn't know
Was
came up and
what theater was this at, Julio?
at the Egyptian in Hollywood.
I think I was at the same one you were.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that's before I met you.
Oh, look at that. That's a great time. And,
Yeah.
and he said that all the jokes were there, and he explained that he could have played it straight, and it would have been a straight action movie, but he decided to play it that way, where he wasn't the hero. He was the dumb guy in it. So I love that that Kurt Russell got to make a lot of choices in John Carpenter movies that are just epic. I mean, the outfit that he had in Escape from New York is all Kurt Russell. He went back there into the clothing department and picked out his outfit, and it's awesome.
Wow, that's so
But
cool.
we have to remember that Kurt Russell was a very well-known child actor for a multitude of live-action Disney films, and I would make the case he could not transition into his adult acting career without John Carpenter.
Yeah. And I heard stories about that. I heard that him, John Carpenter, and Deborah Hill, I believe his name is that the producer, Deborah Hill, on those movies. They were all just a bunch of stoners that hung out.
Yep.
And they would come up with these storylines, and they would be like, "Okay, I'll produce it. I'll make the movie," and Kurt would be like, "And I'll be in it."
One thing I wanted to mention really quickly was actually, let me see who said it. Actually, it was just Ricky said, "Great show, guys." And Jarrett says it's my favorite Disney movie. I don't think Big Trouble in Little China is a Disney movie, Jarrett. Jarrett did say that Demon in a Bottle featuring Darren is the villain, Kind of, yeah, because you gave Robert Downey Jr. a drink, right?
I totally
That's true.
gave Robert
So you gave Tony Stark a drink, and that sends him down that slippery slope
Oh man,
towards
it's your
alcoholism.
fault.
Wow, that's crazy. Crazy to think about. Darren's the true villain in the Iron Man series. Who knew?
You and Bob Layton.
Yes.
a white coat and a black bow tie. I mean, how
Yep.
scary can I be?
Ricky, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to tuning in to everybody who decided to check us out. Jan, thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Y'all, little booty, thanks for watching, I guess.
Wait a second, Jan.
We have a Janisek 1.
Janice. Okay, because I know a Jan Jansen. That would be super cool if that was him.
What I see is, I guess that's a rap comic fam, so I'm not sure because that's very specific to somebody that would know the comic book world very well.
Well, he knows the movie world very well. I can verify that.
Gotcha. Maria says, thanks for a fun show. Have a good night, everybody. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really quickly, a few notes. We do have some sponsors. Half's Hot Sauce, Splattered Frog Brewing Company. Go check out their websites. Buy some things. Enjoy them. Have fun with them. We do have this podcast. We do it usually every Monday on YouTube Live and Rumble Spoon Productions. We do our audio podcasts on pretty much every platform. Those usually come out on Thursdays or Fridays. Most of the time, Thursdays. Kevin, you want to name some of the sites that podcast is available on?
Well, besides YouTube, we're on Google Play, I believe. We're on Apple. We're on Spreaker. We're on SoundCloud, I believe. Are we still there, sir?
Yeah, still on SoundCloud.
Where else we are? We're on
Spreaker.
Was it Blueberry?
Blueberry, yeah. Blueberry, yeah. And Amazon Podcasts as well now. So we're on pretty much any podcast hosting that you find. If we're not on it, let us know, and we'll get on it for you, definitely. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find us on there. If you ever have any questions, you find a comic book in your attic, and you're like, what is this? Send a picture to us. Ask us. We'll be glad to help. We're very knowledgeable, and if we don't know, Julio has a whole group of people, a cabal of minds at We Can Be Heroes that can figure it out for you.
Cabal. Yes, please support Julio and Bill's Two Guys, One Box on Wednesday evening. At what time? At 7:30? Absolutely.
Yep.
Right after that really boring show that's before us. Yeah. Really boring.
Alexi says, fun show. Have fun, you all. Mom
Thanks,
says,
Dr.
good
Chris
night.
Turner, for joining us.
Good night, Mom. Christina says, this was fun. Thank you, Kevin, for giving us a heads up.
No problem. And we'll bring it back again.
Janik says,
Kevin,
are you
Kevin,
guys on...
the jacuzzi now.
Yes. He says, are you guys on ESPN? We are not. Sorry. My mom says, have fun in the hot tub, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Dino B says, good show, kids. Live long and prosper. Thanks, Dino. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right.
Thanks, my man.
You all have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we will see you
at the exuberant, fantastic, and unbreakable comic book shop.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, guys. Let's get easy.